wrestling fans, Johnny Baba Ganoush, and welcome to the 2020 FPW Lords of the Ring. Before we go on to our opening contest, I'd like to speak out to everybody out there who is suffering from the COVID-19 pandemic, lockdown, or quarantine. There are many people out there that are praying for you and wishing you a better tomorrow. The staff in Fantasy Pro Wrestling, even though they may or may not even be here today, they are honestly looking out for you and they want the very best of your endeavors. We will get back to work eventually. Things will get back to quote unquote normal. And just to give you guys a little example, a little taste of it, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in our pay-per-view event, Titanium, who has been in quarantine, is gonna be in the ring tonight against Benjamin Stack for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship in a flaming tables match. There was a contract that was signed not long ago. I think it was on just this past week on Championship Wrestling, the Go Home show, and there's a lot more at stake, but I don't want to spoil you guys what was written in that contract. You will find out later on in this broadcast. And of course, Vicious Jeremy, no longer in quarantine. He is, however, not in action tonight, but he will be watching tonight's event that will eventually lead into our next pay-per-view event, War of Champions, in the month of June. A date will be announced at some point during tonight's broadcast. And of course, the Lords of the Ring tournament would either be for the FPW Tornado Tag Team Championships or the ECW World Tag Team Championships, or it'll be for the number one contender spot. We have announced not long ago, Vicious Jeremy, his words, they are going to be defending the FPW Tornado Tag Team titles at War of Champions. That means Vicious Jeremy and Titanium will be back in the squared circle, and they're gonna meet tonight's eventual 2020 Lords of the Ring. Speaking of which, folks, I'm going to show you right now in our little teleprompter how the FPW Lords of the Ring tournament will actually work. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, in our tournament bracket, we have pretty much an 8-team tournament, but it's technically split into two different tournaments. The top half are containing FPW tag teams, and the bottom half contains No Mercy Hardcore Wrestling tag teams. So we're gonna start off with Captain Obvious and Cursed versus Team Japan. Now, Captain Obvious and Cursed represent these guys. And of course, Team Japan will consist of the Black Ninja and the Ninja Warrior. That British Invasion, that's Robert English and Shane Eaton McKay, will meet up with the Dojo, Master Ken, and Dan Kyu. Prep Boys, or members of the Super Bad Boys, Jesse the Hand Baudouin, and Mick Lovin, or Mick Laving. They're going to be going up against Tyson Kidd and Junior, also known as the Wrestling Dynasty. And then lastly, to close off our quarterfinal round, Fortune Enterprises' Steve Fortune and Tommaso Don Capelli will meet the Moxley crew, but it's 2/3 of the Moxley crew, which is technically the Brotherhoods, Decay Wyatt, and Secret Agent Sam. So there you have it, fans. The tournament is pretty much cinched in stone. We're looking forward to seeing who will be the 2020 FPW Lords of the Ring. Don't forget, fans, later on in this broadcast, we will also have another contest. The LCW Championship Series Match 1, where the Shit Disturbers will meet Team International, and And they will be competing, of course, in a 30-minute Iron Man or Iron Woman match. Since Macy LeBlanc-Smith is inactive due to her pregnancy, Alicia was representing, actually is representing her spot in the tag team of the Shit Disturbers. So fans, I'm done blathering. Let's go down to ringside for our first match here in our 2020 FPW Lords of the Ring. He looks exactly what you think he looks like. But brother, it ain't him. This man is Captain Obvious, my former broadcast partner. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Scott Towles is not able to attend this evening, and Captain Oblivious also not able to attend tonight's event. But one's got stomach issues, one decided to stay home due to COVID-19 situations, and of course the lockdown, the very infamous lockdown that people are still suffering to this very day.
You're all going to die now.
But ladies and gentlemen, let's stick to what we know right now. We know that Cursed is the tag partner for Captain Obvious. There is no Kenan Jackson Jr. And you know what? That's not bad, because we haven't seen Cursed compete in a long time. I mean, it was only a few weeks ago we saw Captain Obvious and Cursed in the ring against that British Invasion. And might I add, what a squash match that was. Both Cursed and Captain Obvious made an example of Robert English and Shane Eaton McKay. And luckily, those two men are very fortunate to be in the tournament tonight. For all we know, they could be the next Lords of the Ring. They could be the next #1 contenders for the FPW Tornado Tag Team Championships. Hell, they could even win the FPW Tornado Tag Team Championships. That is a very distinct possibility, but we will all find out at the very end of tonight's event. I am looking forward to this, ladies and gentlemen. The very first Lords of the Ring were technically the gods of wrestling, and I'm talking about Twiggy and Junior. Now it's Junior and Tyson Kidd, due to the severe injury from Twiggy, based off of what Jesse the Hand Baudouin did almost a month ago. It has caused a lot of problems, and we're also wishing Twiggy the very best of luck in his recovery, as well as Tom Sever, Dean Ambrose, Horvat the Hungarian Barbarian, and Brandon Wolf. In spite of the COVID-19, we had FPW, No Mercy, and LCW all suffered something huge. You know? Not just because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the ring destruction, all the injuries, it's insane. But the show must go on, as Freddie Mercury would put it. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful DDT that was by the Black Ninja onto Captain O. In the tournament, ladies and gentlemen, to give you a bit of a refresher, it has been discovered that if a team gets disqualified, the match has to be restarted. I'm not making that up, fans. If the time limit expires, the match has to be restarted. The tournament cannot continue without a legitimate winner. So there you have it, fans. Keep that in mind. Make notes. If you're watching this at home, make notes of what I'm telling you, because you might lose track and then it'll be all confusing to you. To add more notes, how the tournament's gonna really work is that eventually by the finals, we're gonna have one FPW tag team and one No Mercy Hardcore Wrestling tag team. The winners, the 2020 Lords of the Ring, could be a No Mercy tag team or in a Fantasy Pro Wrestling tag team. Should it be a Fantasy Pro Wrestling tag team, that team will go on to the War of Champions in June to face off against the Specialists, that is Vicious Jeremy and Titanium, for the FPW Tornado Tag Team Championships. But should a No Mercy tag team win, they will compete at War of Champions for the ECW World Tag Team Championships, which is the Southern Dandy and Pentalix, 2/3 of the Lethal Enforcers. Now, that's gonna be fun. But no matter what happens, whoever makes it to the finals, those two teams will meet their respective tag team championship opponents at War of Champions next month. That is going to be awesome, fans. I am looking forward to Big Splash from the top rope. Only gets the 1 count. Meanwhile, the Ninja Warrior with a bow and arrow lock, counter to a pin, and a quick kick out. Captain Obvious now has got Black Ninja on tap. What could this be? Dangerous high-risk maneuver, and that's a super backdrop. You can see Captain Obvious even hurt himself in the process. And now Captain O with the choke slam. Beautiful. Look at Cursed performing old school submission and pinfall combinaciones. And that's all she wrote. 26-26. How quick was that? Look at this. Boom. Beautiful choke slam. Pinfall and a submission duo right there. The audience don't seem to like it. I don't understand why. These guys squashed.
You're all going to die down here.
I had to wait for that. These two men squashed Robert English and Shane Eaton McKay. And the next time we see these guys, it's tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, they just squashed Team Japan. Now Team Japan are out of the tournament. Just like that, fans. I can't wait to see the semi-final match when these men may meet that British invasion or the dojo. Standing by right now, ladies and gentlemen, with Rick Rocker is Master Ken and Dan Kyu.